Hello everyone and welcome to SwitchUp. Today we've got our monthly score roundup video for you. In this video we look back at all of the reviews from the previous month of course being August 2022, and we rank the games reviewed from the lowest score up until the highest. We reviewed 10 games last month, so all 10 games will be listed in this video, and there will be links in the top pinned comment to all 10 reviews if you want the full story, as well as cards in the top right hand corner for the final 5. So which game got the highest score for August 22? Well, let's find out. Kicking us off then, in 10th place, quite a niche title in Shin-Chan, Me and the Professor on Summer Vacation. This is based on a manga and anime series and follows Shin in an open environment with objectives and goals to meet at times. You'll be taking photos of bugs, fishing and completing fetch quests in order to earn pocket money to buy food to keep your stamina bar filled. Its humorous, adult-oriented dialogue is a big strength, as are the visuals and audio, which add to that anime feel. Probably one for fans only, as there's not a huge amount of actual gameplay here, but it's certainly a whimsical affair and it got a SwitchUp score of 72%. In 9th place was SD Gundam Battle Alliance. This game features more chibi versions of the battle suits and encompasses a large number of the iterations of Gundam, whilst telling a story that allows for liberties to be taken with the established lore. The combat is fun and has more depth to it than initially meets the eye, although it can become repetitive after a while. The other issue is just the price, which is pretty steep, and with only an Asian physical release there are fewer options when trying to get yourself a good deal. An enjoyable game nonetheless, and it got a SwitchUp score of 73%. In 8th place was Cult of the Lamb. This game has you going on runs with a variety of weapons and curses available to beat the priests within the dungeons. It has that incredibly addictive gameplay loop used in games such as The Binding of Isaac or Hades, albeit not quite on the level of those games, but what's here is still very good. In terms of negatives, there are performance issues and bugs in the Switch version, and it could have done with a bit more variety in terms of cards, enemies and weapons, although both of these issues should be fixed by way of patches and updates as per the developer's roadmap of new content coming to the game. It got a SwitchUp score of 80%. In 7th place was Digimon Survive. This latest entry in the popular series is a very different game to what you might expect, essentially being a visual novel with some strategy battles interspliced. The word survive in the title is certainly warranted, as your decisions will affect which of your characters survive the ordeal, and the story is a strong point for the game. It very much comes down to your expectations with this one. Go in with your eyes wide open to exactly what the game is and you'll find a gripping adventure. Don't forget to click the link in the top pinned comment for the full review of this game or any other included in this video. This got a SwitchUp score of 82%. We then have a three-way tie for 4th place, with the first of those games being Islets. This is a Metroidvania which was created by two brothers. You play as a young warrior looking to reunite the fragmented pieces of the world after they split apart. Each piece of the world has its own map, and as you explore and beat bosses you'll earn new skills which allow you to move on and progress through the world, and there are also times where you can pick between free skill upgrades to improve your character. It's a very charming game with a good difficulty curve, a very impressive passion project which is great fun to play. It got a SwitchUp score of 84%. The second game tied for 4th is another Metroidvania called HAAK. This one has a cyberpunk setting and also includes a grapple move with you able to momentarily slow down time in order to use it, as well as being able to defeat enemies with it. It has a lovely animation style and the gameplay is certainly engaging, especially due to that grapple weapon. Unfortunately, it was let down by some occasional frame rate drops, which is a shame, as generally it runs at a smooth 60. It also got 84%. And the final game in that three-way tie for 4th was Blossom Tales 2: The Minotaur Prince. This top-down adventure game is highly inspired by the earlier Zelda titles, I would say mainly A Link to the Past and Link's Awakening, but much like its predecessor, takes that classic formula and wraps it in a charming story told by an old man to his 2 grandchildren. The biggest strength of the game lies in the puzzles found within the dungeons, which were plentiful and genuinely enjoyable, and it took me around 9 to 10 hours to finish without paying much attention to side quests, so there is scope to extend this further. It does perhaps go a little heavy on its homages at times, but it's still a great game in its own right, and it's the 3rd game to get a score of 84%. Moving into the top 3, and in 3rd place we have Kirby's Dream Buffet. This new game starring the pink puffball sees you attempting to navigate a number of food related courses, trying to be the first to reach the bottom. On top of this, there are a number of minigames and a battle royale mode. It's a lot of fun and has a great look to it, which really does enhance the gameplay, especially with the cake themed courses, and the classic Kirby music is also used to great effect. It runs at 30 frames per second, which is not ideal for a game of this type, and only 4 players can play online, which again, for the type of game it is, doesn't feel enough. A lot of fun to be had though, and it got a SwitchUp score of 85%. We have a tie for 1st place this month, with the first game being 2 Point Campus. This is of course the sequel to 2 Point Hospital, which itself was almost a spiritual successor to Theme Hospital from back in the day, with a few of the same team behind it. This new entry moves the setting to a university campus and further refines the formula, whilst retaining that incredibly addictive gameplay loop. The audio is also a particular standout, and the price is reasonable considering how many hours you can sink into it. There were a few bugs, which is a shame, but it's another great entry that harkens back to a well-loved genre. It got a SwitchUp score of 90%. And also in joint first for the month then was TMNT, the Cowabunga collection. This is a compilation of 13 of Konami's games based on the Ninja Turtles franchise, spanning from 1989 to 1994, and includes some absolute classics from the arcade, 8 and 16-bit eras. There's a decent amount of variety with beat-em-ups, platformers and fighters, and even the games that are duplicated with various console versions feel different enough to each other to warrant playing all versions. Alongside this, they have added a host of quality of life features and online for some of the games, and a comprehensive gallery mode called the Turtles Lair. Definitely worth it for fans of the game's first time round, but they hold up well enough that newer fans of the franchise may want to jump in too. I had great fun with it, and it got a SwitchUp score of 90%. So there you have it, another month of Nintendo Switch reviews. Did you pick any of these games up? If so, what did you think of them? Were there any games that you bought that we didn't review? Again, if so, please do let us know your thoughts on them in the comments section. Don't forget, if you are looking for eShop credit, you can use our website, switchup.gg. You can buy your eShop cards from there, which does help the channel out, which is very much appreciated. There's also a link to Play Asia down there, so you can pick up any import games that you may be interested in, such as the Gundam game mentioned in this particular video. Click the link down there, use the code stated, and you can get yourself 5% off of an order. A quick thank you to our Patreons as always for your continued support, and to each and every one of you for watching our videos. Take care, and until next time, happy gaming.